This is going to be a guide to low-level Tempoross, particularly on an Ironman. Tempoross is something you can do starting at level 35 in fishing, and I believe it is faster XP per hour than fly fishing, and so it's pretty popular for group Ironmen recently. And it's a great way to get food for your account and also for just fishing XP. I believe it's slower than barb fishing especially once you unlock leaping salmon, but I mean, early on is totally fine. But there are a couple challenges to come with doing it at like very low fishing, and so I'm going to go over some of those in this guide. This is not going to be like a basic guide to Tempoross, so if you're looking for one of those, I would recommend tons of other videos on YouTube. This is going to assume you pretty much already know all the mechanics and are decently familiar with how to do the solos on a main account. Even if you're not though, you should be able to pick it up from watching this video. But there's a couple of differences between doing this on a main and doing this on an iron at like sub 40 fishing, which presents some problems, so I'm going to go over that. I'm going to go over a strategy that I use on my iron, and I'm going to go over two example kills. The first one is going to be pretty clean and pretty straightforward, and the second one, a lot of stuff goes wrong, and it'll be a more scuffed kill. So there's going to be timestamps in the description. You can kind of just hop around to whatever you're most interested in. Yeah. Typically on a main or any account with high fishing, you would do the firefighting method for max points per hour, where you use humidify and a bunch of buckets to put out fires during the final phase instead of fishing to get a bunch of points at the cost of a bit of fishing XP per hour. So if you're doing this early on a group Ironman or a regular Ironman, this is obviously not an option for you because of humidify, and so we're going to try the cooking method instead, which is pretty comparable points per hour and is also more fishing XP per hour, and these are the two things we wanted from Tempoross anyway. I've found personally that at around 35 to 40 fishing, this is better fishing XP and better permits per hour than the masses. So it's superior to masses for that, and it's also more AFK because in masses, you have to deal with the special attacks constantly, whereas in solos, once you know what you're doing, he doesn't really do the specials anymore, or he does them at times you can predict. So I do recommend this if you are a fan of those things, I guess. I think the one main downside is that you get more construction XP in masses because the waves come more often. So I guess if that's a priority for you, then, you know, do masses instead, but I think honestly solos are fine. The rates I was getting, I got around 25k XP per hour in masses and closer to 30 to 32k XP per hour in solos. And I think masses are around like 40 points per hour, maybe more at low levels, and then around 52 points per hour in solos. So I think it's just better to do solos. And the typical solo method on a main, or with high fishing at least, is you take an infernal harpoon and you do this 17, 19, 19, 28 method. So it takes 17 harpoon fish to bring Tempoross to 4%, and below 10% he stops doing specials. These 19 here, so it takes 2 fish to then down him, and then the remaining 17 in the crate will instantly put him back to 4%. So what you're doing is you're putting him to 4%, you're downing him, putting him to 4%, doing that again, and then in the final phase, you are loading as many cooked fish as possible to maximize points before you finish out the kill in the center. So we're going to do a similar strategy, but the timing, if you've ever done this, by the way, on a main, the timing is pretty tight, even with an infernal harpoon. So there's a lot of things we have to kind of compromise on a low-level Ironman, and I'm going to show this graphic that I made here. It's kind of scuffed, but that's okay. Basically, at low fishing, you miss a lot. So you miss fishing a lot, and you miss attacking the whirlpool a lot. And so you need to basically spend a bit more time attacking Tempoross to get rid of some of the RNG involved, because otherwise you're going to just lose kills to like not hitting him when you need to hit him. And you'll get wiped by the final, the storm, like going out of control. So this is very similar to the 17, 19, 19, 28 method, but instead of doing 17, 19, we're going to load 17 first, put him to 4%. We're going to fish as many fish as possible. We're going to load 2 to down him, and then attack him first. And then after that, we're going to finish loading the remaining of the 19 to put him back down to 4%. And then the rest of the kill will play out pretty much identically to a typical solo. And I think this is hard to follow if you're not seeing the actual kill. You can just use this as a graphic for like reference if you want, but it's going to be much easier to follow this when you see an actual kill. So I'm going to switch over to the commentated KC right now. So this is going to be a real-time footage of a kill I did earlier. This was with 41 fishing, so my stats were pretty low doing this. Yeah, I'm gonna just let the replay just go, and I'll chime in as I need to. This is pretty chill, honestly. It took me a couple tries to get this right. I think this is my 4th KC looking at the chat there. Kills tend to be around 10 to 11 minutes at low level. I've noticed that once you get to higher levels, like 50 plus, kills get about a minute and a half faster, and they become a lot more consistent. So this is going to start the same way as you would in the main. You're going to go fish 7 to 8 fish, and then you're going to go cook, and you're going to wait for the double spot to come up. So this is pretty standard. I'm not going to go over like really basic Tempoross stuff because I'm going to assume you know how to do a standard kill. This is going to be more for people who are wondering, is this viable on a low level iron? And the answer is yes. And this is just my strategy. I'm sure that there's optimal, like more optimal ways to do it, but this is what I came up with. And you're only here for a couple hours anyway, or you're only at low fishing for a couple hours anyway. And after you get higher fishing, it gets a lot easier to just kind of do whatever you want. So we're gonna cook 8. We're gonna wait for this double spot. And at the double spot, so in solos on a main, you typically try to go for 16 to 17 and then immediately rush to the cannon, because you want to be able to douse the first round of fires on your way back and then let the fires on the other side grow. Here, we're not going to do that. We're going to actually let the fires hit, and then depending on how fast our kill is, we're either going to douse the fires immediately or we're going to wait for the second wave to put them out. So first wave is going to come now. This always comes after the first double spot disappears. We're going to cook as many fish as possible. I'm pretty close to a full inventory, so I just go ahead and I fish the last 2. And the more practice you get with Tempoross, the easier this becomes. Just knowing like when you have chances to go get fish. My inventory, by the way, is a harpoon, a hammer, a rope, and 5 buckets. You can grab all of these from the ship in the game, so you don't have to buy any of these ahead of time. And the fire is going to come down now. After I finish cooking all these, I'm going to douse all of these. So this is a pretty fast kill, which means I can douse these on my way to the ship, which is nice. On slower kills, you can skip dousing these and just wait for the second wave to come. I think this kill was fast enough that I could douse the fires, but slow enough that I still get hit by the second wave, which is not a big deal. It takes a couple seconds off your kill, but I mean, you're on a low level account. It doesn't really matter. You're getting these optimal XP rates. And you get points for putting out the fires anyway, so not the worst thing in the world. So there I loaded 17. Now he's at 4%. Now I'm going to fish as close to a full inventory as possible and cook as much as possible. And the objective is to have 19 cooked fish, but at low levels, you almost never get the full 19 cooked fish before the storm intensity goes up. So you can do this until 92% intensity, and then at that point you have to start loading the cannon, or else you're going to wipe. So I found that I never really get all the cooked fish I need immediately, but I'm going to get as many as possible. So just fishing and cooking again, looking for the double spots. Nothing really out of the ordinary here. And like I said, this is a pretty clean kill, so I get decent luck here, although here I get horrible luck on this fishing. This happens so much at like sub 40 fishing. It just takes ages to get a single fish out of these spots. So right now I have a total of 18 fish in my inventory. I know I need 19 cooked fish to properly transition to the next phase, because again, like I said before, you need 2 fish to down them and then 17 to bring them back to 4%. So I need 19 cooked fish in total, so I'm making a mental note right now to grab 1 more fish, cook it, and then return to the cannon ASAP. So storm is at 94, and so I run immediately, or else I'm going to miss it. I'm going to load the cannon with 2 fish, and then I'm going to instantly run to the pool. So I'm not going to load everything, I'm going to load just 2, and then run to the center and start attacking Tempoross. So you do this because you miss attacks here a lot at low fishing, and the typical solo strategy at high fishing, the timing is very tight. And if you try to do the same strategy here, you're going to fail a lot because you just won't have like the accuracy to down Tempoross in 3 rotations. So you need to spend a little more time attacking him at the center, and this way gives you a lot of leeway. You'll also notice that this regenerates run, which I did not know about. So my run is going up by like 3 to 4 each time I hit the Tempoross successfully. And that's also a big deal because I have 15 agility right now, and so my run energy is really not in good shape. So the fact that this like works makes this viable at low level solos. So I'm going to attack him for basically as long as possible. You can typically do over half of his health, and then you're in a good spot. So I do a lot of damage here. I'm going to grab the one more fish I need, finish cooking all 17 remaining, and then instantly run to the cannon. And my goal here is to get him back to 4% before the second round of fires come, because the fires will slow you down a lot. So this way I should be able to get the second set of 17 in after the second big wave, but before the fires hit. So the big wave is going to come pretty soon. Yeah, there it is. I got to level up here. Level ups are actually really annoying. They stall your, like, whatever you're doing, and they can really hinder you sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and load the rest of my cooked fish. He's going to bring him down to 4%. And then the rest of this goes pretty much as a standard kill. I don't need these buckets anymore. I know that I'm past the point where I have to worry about dealing with fires, so I just drop up my buckets. And my goal is going to be to load another 19 fish this phase, attack, come back, cook a full inventory, and then load all of them, and then finish out the kill. So really not much to say for the rest of this kill. I'm going to talk about some other unrelated stuff, like some benefits of doing this. So a lot of people are doing this, I think, after Winter Tote, which is fine. I'm doing a weird route on my account where I'm doing it before Winter Tote. The reason is because you get a small amount of construction XP from repairing the masts in this game, and the reward permits give you a lot of planks and nails. So the idea is, you can just train a bit of construction with the supplies, and then after that you can go to Winter Tote already with like 20, 30 construction, and then you can just have a really good start in your construction from there without having to do solos. And then this gives you good food as well. And on top of that, I think it's just flat out better XP than fly fishing. I don't think it's better than barb fishing, but it's pretty laid back and just enjoyable activity. Social, the mass world is packed right now, so pretty fun stuff. The rewards in this game scale off of your fishing level, so I would recommend if you do this, it's ideal to hold your rewards until at least around 76 fishing, because you stop getting salmon and you start getting sharks at 76. So up to you, really. If you're impatient, you can grab them as soon as you want. You get some nice stuff like planks and teleport jewelry, which you have to enchant, but not a big deal. And plenty of food. I'm raising a cat while I do this. You can actually feed the harpoon fish to your cat, so I thought that was pretty funny. I don't do it in this game, but I do it in the scuffed game I'm going to show after this. The requirements for this in Ironman are pretty simple. You just need 35 fishing. There is no cooking requirement, so this is a good way to train cooking early on, because I don't believe you ever fail cooking the harpoon fish. And then if you do plan to do this along with barb fishing, you do need 15 agility and 15 strength to do barb fishing. So again, everyone has their own routes for Group Ironman. I'm doing this until 58 and then barb fishing until 76. So I did some agility to get to 15, and then I did waterfall quest to get to over 15 strength to unlock barb fishing. So here I'm going to attack the pool again in the center. You have to be careful here because you don't want to accidentally kill him too fast. You want to leave Tempoross when he's below 10% or so. Basically, this is just to give you plenty of leeway for the final phase, because you have less time than usual to hit him, so you want him to be as easy to kill as possible. So I bring him down to 5% here. The rest of this kill, I'm just going to fish a full inventory, cook it, and then fire it all, and then finish off the kill. So I'll just let that play out. Another useful tip in this minigame is the fishing plugin, which you can see in the lower left corner above the chat box. It'll tell you when you are and aren't fishing, which seems really stupid at first, but sometimes the indicators don't accurately tell you when the spot is actually alive or not. But the fishing or not fishing will always tell you whether you're actually doing the activity. So you can do this when like you arrive to a spot late and you're not sure how long it's going to last. It'll tell you when you're like not actually doing anything. About to get a cooking level here. These are honestly more annoying than feel good because they stop whatever you're doing. Same with your cat messages, by the way. I recommend you feed your cat and play with it before games, because if they pop up during a game and they cause you to lose stuff to the wave or something, it's really irritating. So we're going to down him here. We're loading all of our cooked fish. You'll notice we're getting 65 points per cooked fish, which is a lot. And then we'll have plenty of time to finish off the remaining 5% of the kill. Because we're only loading 25 fish, not 28, and we did so much damage to him in the last couple phases. You could theoretically drop your harpoon, hammer, and rope here and then grab another set, but I opt not to do that because it's more effort. One thing that I do recommend doing is grabbing a full inventory of buckets after every kill, because you will need buckets eventually for sandstone. So I'm going to grab a full inventory, and then I'm going to fill a couple up with water, because I do end up throwing out a couple buckets of water every game, so I just want to stockpile a couple. But they're just free buckets, so I mean, why not, right? You end up next to a bank when you finish, so yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching this kill. We're going to go to the scuffed one after this. So this is going to be the scuffed kill. I'm going to fast forward through a lot of this. A lot goes wrong in this kill, and I have to improvise a lot. So if you do things right, most kills shouldn't look like this, unless you get really bad RNG at low fishing. But let's just fast forward this for a bit. Let's put it on 2x speed. We can skip to the start of the game. Typical kill length is about 10 to 11 minutes. I think this one takes 12, so just how much goes wrong. But you can still salvage these kills. So same as before, we're going to get 8 and go to the center. I'm going to fast forward through this even more. So cook 8. Double spot spawns. I get slightly bad luck. I can only fish another couple. The wave hits. I wait for the next double spot. I get the remaining 4 that I need. And the fires come. So at this point, I know the fires are out, and my fish count is still, like, I'm still cooking, and so this is a very slow kill. So my goal is to wait for the second set of waves to put out these fires, so I'm not going to bother putting them out myself. I could probably still and just get the points, but this is like my 3rd KC on this account, so I decided not to be too adventurous. This one is about to spawn another fire, so I decided not to douse it, and then I realized I probably just should have anyway. The mast is damaged, so I have to repair it before the wave hits. And then the second big wave is going to come, and it's going to put out all these fires. So I'm going to load, and then tether. And then same as before, I'm going to load 17 fish to get him to 4%. So we can fast forward again here. So I actually loaded only 16 this kill. I don't remember, I think it was testing out whether 16 or 17 was better. I don't think it matters that much, because he stops doing specials at 10% or below. So 16 will get him to 10%, and then 17 will get him to 4%. So doesn't matter too much. I keep fishing here. His storm intensity is coming up, so this is a very tight kill. My spot disappears, so I just run up to the ship. He's at 92% right now. I just start loading. So 2 fish here. I could have loaded 3 because he was at 10%. I wasn't really thinking about that at the time. So this downs him, and now I have 10 fish in my inventory, so I need to get back up to either 16 or 17 to get him back down to the range where he doesn't use his special attacks, and that is going to take a while. So you'll see how things start to go wrong this kill. I mean, things have already kind of gone wrong this kill, but it goes a little more off the rails here. So let's fast forward through this. Again, I do like the strategy because you have a lot of time to just hit Tempoross here. You have a very safe amount of damage on him, and you also get your run back up. So I'm at 100 run right now, which is awesome. Let's keep fast forwarding. So I fish some more, wait for the double spots. And I'm pretty slow getting fish here as well. Just bad luck, unfortunately. So I'm at 16 total fish. And the wave hits, I'm still not even done cooking. I decided to try to sprint for the ship to see if I can load all 16 of these before the second wave of fires hit. But that was never really going to happen, so not really a good decision on my part. But I decided to try to load everything, and it takes time for the fish to even hit him, so this was never going to happen. So the fires come. Normally you never want to have a kill get to the second round of fires, but it did happen here. So I'm going to refill my buckets, because I'm going to need to put out fires back in the mainland. I load all 16 that I had to put them back down to 10%. Again, this could have been 17 to put them down to 4%. Then I just douse all the fires, and then I toss my buckets, and I continue with the kill as normal. Double spot disappears, which is annoying. If you do manage to get faster kills, you have much better timing with the double spots, which is the nicer part of doing fast kills. Slower kills, you tend to have, like, wait around for the double spots more, or just fish at single spots, and it's not as optimal. But that was the tricky part, honestly, and we've pretty much navigated it. But you'll see that, like, this kill takes a lot longer, and the intensity goes up pretty high in phases 2 and 3, which you want to not really have happen to you. But yeah, the rest of it is the same as before. We're going to load another, I believe, 19 here. And then as many fish as possible in the last phase. So there's only 4 left. I decided to just load. And then the intensity is at 95 or 93 here. And I decided I don't have time to cook the rest. I just go up and load. So I load what I have. And I go to attack him. And again, because I'm early here, I don't want to spend too much time. You'll notice how many attacks are missing, by the way. See that? I just missed like 5 attacks at the center. And that's why we do this. That's why we spend more time in the center, is to guarantee that we get these kills and don't lose in the RNG. So I bring him down to 6%, and then I just leave early because I don't want to kill him right now. I want to load a full inventory of fish. And now I'm home free on phase 3. I just need to fish the remaining fish in my inventory, and then fully load the cannon, and then finish off the last 6% here. I have to remember that he wasn't put down to 4% in the last kill, so I load the remaining fish to get him down to that number. There's one more wave, and now I'm actually home free. And then the rest is standard. I'll speed this up to like 4x. I do feed the kitten right there. If you, I don't know if you saw that, but you can feed the kitten harpoon fish, which is pretty funny. So the intensity here is up to like almost 85%, whereas for the clean kill, you'll notice it was much, much lower. But regardless, getting the kill is the important part. We get the permits here. This kill took over 12 minutes, which is not typical of kills with this method, but the higher your fishing gets, the less this happens. We steal buckets to end the game, fill them up with water. That is the end of this video. Thanks for watching. I'm probably not going to make more of these. I just wanted to make this one in particular, so don't subscribe or anything. But let me know if this helped out. And yeah,